So, okay, it is what it is. And these shoes James Folks got me. They're Timberline, and, I'd never buy Timberlines for myself, but not the point of this. So I go over here, and it's like, okay. See, this is after my spring cleaning. I'm not kidding. This was all full of boxes. I mean, I just gave away my other color printer. And he's like, well, why does he have two color printers? Well, he had two cars. I got to stop with the Gaffigan thing, but it works for now. And so that's a whole nother thing because I got involved with all these different conspiracies. I hate that word, but I had to teach myself, what is this true or not true? And most of them, I'm yet to find one that isn't true. Anyway, so this is a brand new Seattle Seahawks shirt. One of the doormen, he's a really cool guy, and let's just say I helped him go out to see his girlfriend in Seattle. And he was so appreciative, and I'm like, no big deal. And he came back and he gave me another sweatshirt. Actually, it was two. And they were large. And I was like, I didn't tell him. I just accepted them. I came back up, and it was a large. And I know I'm a skinny guy and all that, but large just doesn't work. I mean, it's hard to tell because you bulk up. But so I had to go back down and do the walk of shame and say, I hate to say it, but you can find someone. You've got family, a girlfriend, and friends. Give this to someone else. This is $1 million. And sure enough, he goes out and he gets his girlfriend and send me another one. So that's why this is here, because I haven't put it away. This is my old sailing jacket, but. Oh, and then I found old Harry's posters. So there's some fruit that came out of this. And those are my good jeans. Anyway, going out. So yeah, actually this is my good jeans because there's no hole. But these other ones, oh God, there's my old neck brace. I had to start wearing something, and then you start walking around feeling like a accident. Ambulance chasing lawyer commercial, walking around your apartment like that. Probably have Social Security over here, SSD doing surveillance on me. He's like, is he wearing the neck brace? I don't know. and so I was like, okay, just get the overalls and stuff. And then it was like, oh, I found this picture, and I forgot I had done it. This was... that goes back to college. When I was in college, I did this. And that's the way I used to do things. Freehand. I could look at a picture and then recreate it. That's why I did the Springsteen thing on. And I get, for whatever reason, so the quick story on that is, I used to trace everything when I was a little kid. And then I'd show my folks the drawing, and they go, well, that's good. And I said, yeah, I drew it myself. 4-year-old kid coming up with a perfect... I used to draw animals and horses. And, all of a sudden, this kid that writes his name, B-R-I, comes up with a perfect horse. I'm going, wow, that perspective. He's Mancha. Okay, forget it. Mensa. Is it Mensa? And it's like, no. So I'm on my desk in my room, and Sweet Carolina, I gotta turn this down. Hold on. Oh, I can't stop now because how prophetic is that? Sweet Caroline's playing on it. I didn't turn it off and it's still playing. But I was telling a Carolyn story, and Carolyn's my mother, and Sweet Caroline's playing. Oh, you people, if you don't believe that he's all the time. And if, those that say, I'm a Christian and I believe he's there all the time, but why do I do all these other things? Oh, you don't believe he's there all the time, that's why. Anyway, and I'll address that quickly, but so I was tracing one day, and it was a Sunday night, and my mother came in, and she caught me tracing. And she left the room for a second, and she came back in, and I was drawing a tiger. I know that. And I had all the stripes, and thinking, do tigers have stripes or is that leopards? I did have to double think. But it was a tiger. And she goes, could you do another one? And she just stood over me. And I just want to see you draw it. And I think that was her kind of sweet way of saying, I know you trace. We gotta lock down this lying thing. So maybe I did lie about little things, but not kind of in the eye of the beholder, I guess. What's a good lie or an okay lie? But she just stood over me and said, just draw that tiger again. And so I started drawing, a clean sheet of paper, and I had to look over, and I redrew the drawing, and it came out halfway decent. Anyway, that's how I ended up doing this, being able to do this freehand. Because I did this picture, just like that saxophone one, and Heidi has it, or I gave it to her. I don't know if she probably doesn't still have it. But I could draw this on the 1/4-inch foam board, so there's no way you could trace it. But the thing is, during grad school, that's when my brain went toink, or one of the times it went toink. I ended up tracing. So I just went back to tracing, but I took it up a notch, and I did this, people call it pointillism. So that's how I started doing these pointillism, because it was like twofold reason for doing it. One, it settled me down because, my back was cooking and life was cooking, and so I could kind of concentrate doing these pointillism things, and you'll see them up close. But, that little mental focus got me through so much. Physical, mental, emotional, mostly physical after a while. Oh, man. Physical after a while. But, concentrate. But the thing is, when you snap out of it, you kind of get into this little drone, or this little monotony of dot, 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 but I've got music on, or sopranos in the background, I listened to John MacArthur when I started getting into scripture. I could do one, that's why I did the football stadiums. One of these probably takes 2 weeks of 10-hour, at least 10-hour days. It's like, well, 10 hours to do, yeah, because to do this is, 18 by 24? To do this would be 4 days. Easily 4 days. Then you gotta get it right. You gotta get, But anyway, so it's the pointillism stuff. And people look at that, it's like, how do you, go crazy? It was like, well, I'm kind of in a zone. Listen to Sopranos and try to have all those episodes memorized. But that goes back to 85 and 89 when I was up to 4, because I got into cartooning. That's a whole nother form of mental dump, where you keep yourself busy and you're not drinking because you gotta keep a little bit focused. And that's how God put these interests on my heart or brain, and that kept me busy during the week. But it slowly unraveled on Saturday night and stuff, because you can only do so much sober. No, I'm joking. But anyway, so there's a quick there. Just keep going. So there's my check. It's like, oh, I gotta show proof positive that that's me. Well, there's my 100% proof positive I testified in court before, so don't challenge me. And so I was on Raven, and this was probably 2008. No, it had been 2006. I mean, my brain blew up in 7, so this had to be 6 or maybe 5 or whatever. Who cares? And so that's my proof positive. Actually, I've got a little bit better. Whatever. But I mean, there's Sam from Boating Shots and Wally and Stan the owner. I'll get into all that later. But it's like, I got to make myself fine line. Oh, we got a story for that one. So it's like, well, take a picture of the kitchen. Yeah, I'm not talking right today. Piction? This is a piction of my kitchen. Ooh. And, but it's like, proverbial, man, these things were built for $13 or $16? Oh, do I test the limits? I would have been a good product tester for that. Oh, jeez. But that's probably the 5th one I've ever owned. But, oh. And, so, that's the kitchen. Stop it. That's looking outside, so there's the stadium, there's the big house. Here, I might have another one. So I move in. When I got this apartment, it was like, I'm living here. It was not above my means, but it was above my personal means, because I lived at the dental frat over here somewhere for $375 a month. No, $750 a month. What am I talking about? And that was my ballpark, under 1,000. This is just tipping the scale of over 1,000. But I had to have this view for some reason. And I'm not going to say the apartment number because it's biblical and I had no idea, but think of a big round biblical number that, wow. But I came in here, it's like, I have to have this view because it'll put me downtown. I'll try and get volunteer stuff going and get my butt, because I was out here just to walk to the store was getting difficult. And then I got kicked out of there. Oh, that's a no. I've got 3. Oh, you think stuff so far is interesting? No. That's like ABBA, being the backup band for Springsteen concert. I've got a Springsteen concert coming up that, oh boy, I start off with a good one. Anyway, so I got this. Okay. So I moved in the end of August, and I love fall football. And I know the betting and everything else, and it's so ridiculous and over the top, but I don't care. Something in my DNA says the fall and the football, the cookouts, and what am I missing? Tailgating. Oh my gosh. This is a bad taping morning. This is why I didn't do it yesterday, because words, I thought, oh, he's going to just kind of hold back my words. He did it today. Anyway, so I'm all excited because football season's coming on. It's just a mental distraction because I don't do anything. I have no social life. So Saturday, Sunday is, now I've got football at least to throw on and have in the background because, I just don't do anything. So football, the first game, and Michigan had 5 home games in a row the first year I was here. This was 2016. Oh my gosh, what's going on? 2016. And I get up in the morning and just want to see the blimps and the planes flying around with the banners. And I go out here, and Romeo and Juliet decide to come up here, and they're hugging each other. And I'm like, okay, young love springs in the falls in the air, whatever. And I go back and forth. There are these big vertical blinds that come down. But I get to see the beginning of the football season and the big house and stuff. And all of a sudden, Romeo and Juliet start becoming R-rated Romeo and Juliet. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You don't see a 24-story building 50 feet away from you, and you're doing this? And all of a sudden, they start going from R-rated version to, let's just say it was X, but not, it was visually R. And I'm like, okay, testing my voyeurism stuff, which I failed. I just failed miserably. But, you know, it was like, I know he's watching me and testing me, and so I'd go over and get a cup of coffee and sit back down. It's like, oh my God, they've got to be done. They've got to be done. So I get back up, get another. It's like, I need another cup of coffee because I just poured this one out behind the couch. And so it's like, I come back and it's like, oh my God, they're still there. Come on. Go out and get another cup of coffee. It's like, well, that one I spilled. I'm sorry. It's like, I get up, go to the kitchen. That's why I'm saying I failed. But they're going at it, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And you don't see this wall of window. Look, I'm at 12. It just gave it away. So it's like, and think Y2K, okay? There's your magic biblical number. It's, at least, I'm not going to worry about, because it won't make any difference when all these get published, so we'll just leave it at that. So they're going at it, and I'm like, are you kidding? And it went on for at least, it's like, oh, to be young, not that I know, but I've heard, Jim Gaffigan or something. But, oh my gosh, that was just unreal. So so that was my introduction to this apartment. It's like, wow, matinee. Or it's not even a matinee, it's a morning show. Thank you. It's like, oh, don't test me with this couple for, you know, they haven't been back. It's not a spoiler alert. It's probably spoiled my alert, but, oh, it was bad. I failed. It's like, oh, I spilled another cup. It's like, how fast did I drink that last cup? Get up. Yep, they're still there. I'm just checking. I'm not doing anything. I'm not looking. I have to have glasses to... No, actually I don't for long distance, but... Okay, I'm spending way too much time. So then I find my... Okay, we're back to when I was looking for the Caprice picture. So Caprice? Capricious? And that whole race and my life in 99 was capricious because that was my mother died and I was going to have this surgery coming up. So my life was beyond capricious. So how prophetic was that? And I kind of knew it, but the Epiphany story, not now. But okay, so again, telling that story with I could just do that, and then these were the things where I could do the color. I had the in the clear vellum with the different shadings, so you could do stuff like this. So that's how you did the brown. And I found the actual picture I did this from. I know I've got it, but I'll show you. It's like, well, that's pretty good. But this, if I zoomed in or got real close, you could still see pencil marks. So that was all hand done. But I used to do that on mirrors. And I still can't find a mirror example. I'm pretty sure I don't. I gave Jill the Springsteen Born to Run, which was unreal. Oh, but it was like 12 by 18. It wasn't this big, or like the other ones. But then I felt weird And I made her another one, Darkness on the Edge of Town, like this, with the black or the mirror in white, or the mirror in black. And I said, well, give this to your brother, because I know he likes Springsteen. I think at that point she's like, all right, why don't you just kind of settle down? But that's the story that I taped over, and I'm giving a few days rest so I can be a little bit fresh on how I remember it. But these are the work lap boards that I've been carrying around since high school, and probably even before that. So I've got the big old lap board for things, and then the little one. I can only do the big drawings on here, but I use a light table. That's the other thing with the light table. I have to trace and then use a light table, and have to put that in there. But then this little guy's good for actually use coffee, and so anyway, delusions of grandeur. I thought, well, I'll become famous and all these stories, and it's like these will go up in the Smithsonian someday, because those are the lap boards he used. And so there's that shirt. That's $1 million to me. I'll probably never wear it. I just don't wear that stuff. But this is a coat I've had since 2000 when I checked out of domestic unbliss and stuff. Oh. And then I found these. It's like, oh yeah. All these were my they're legal cheat sheets from grad school that had all of our, formulas. And I could probably zoom in. Hold on. But this was 11 by 14, so legal size. But I color coded because, red things I could draw my eyes to, and then the regular. But these were the matrix analysis. This is all grad school. But to me, it was just art. It was just drawings after a while, because this was the rock mechanics course. I'm sure if I looked down at it, I could remember a few things. But, this was shell. Oh my God. I know it, but I just can't think that fast. Thank you, people who fried my brain, or not the wine I drank for 10 years. It's always somebody else's fault, isn't it? And so anyway, that's that. Get rid of that. So I found those, and then I was like, oh yeah, I did Lawrence Larkin. No. Larkin. Oh, Clarence Larkin. Is it Lawrence Larkin? No, it's not double L's. But I found these guys when I was getting into the MacArthur stuff. And this was perfect, because I'd recreate that, and it'd give me time to concentrate and kind of get then you find out there's some things that are not correct or not copacetic with the way prophecy's laid out, but it was still cool. So I found these, and I was like, well, I got to draw those. So that's where I came up with these, and I had red. Ooh. But, so that took up time. That was when I was recovering from the first neck surgery. And, so anyway, so Clarence Larkin was pretty cool. Then I threw that in. It was for the First Baptist Church in Pentwater, and I'm going to kind of dig hard on these people. But, it's my testimony, and I can. Because I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. This is my testimony, so you don't say, oh, he believes in flat earth and he's crazy. Well, no, that's my testimony, so I can't. I'm not saying that it's true. It's true. Just said it. If you want proof positive, won't do it. But, so yeah, they get a 5-minute story. Anyway, so this, and then, and then you start thinking like, oh, I would have been a scribe, because I love this stuff. So I have to trace that and redo my own drawings and stuff. But But that was recovery of the surgeries in 2011 once I got my neck and back worked on. So here, oh, did I rotate it? Yeah, I did. This was the first Harry's poster. If you were thinking, $18,000 for that? Well, you don't understand Memento, or memorabilia at Memento, the movie. Memorabilia, let's just do this. So this was the old chocolate shop, old tin roof and patches and a little rusty flashing up here. This is the old building. It had this crappy awning and it's Pearson State. And so I did this drawing and I made 3 originals, gave one to Jane, gave one to, I can't remember, for a wedding gift, and I had another one that I gave for a wedding gift. And the one I gave Jane, she gave it to her father, and it ended up inside the store. Because Herschel ended up seeing it, and it was like, people would want this. People want this, so do it. And that's where I came up with the 3 different print runs of this image. And, I mean, even now I don't like the way I did the window and stuff, but that was it. And I go, well, that took me... I've got to tell a quick story. Oh, I got to stop.